And what I saw was offensive. To the point, if my mother knew what I had just seen through my eyes, which she essentially gave me, she probably would have disowned me. So I'm another bald a-hole here. Thank you for joining me as always. We're going to talk about social media today, specifically the fact that Greg Doucette, I'm sure you know him, fitness YouTuber extraordinaire and bodybuilder and coach and all of these things, maker of the Anabolic Cookbook, got kicked off of Instagram. Now, there were two reasons I wanted to make a video about this. The first one being that Greg Doucette has always been very nice and very kind to me, and we have talked over Instagram many a time without wanting to let the cat out of the bag too much, although it's not exactly like a news head, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. We were chatting as of a few days ago about planning in some kind of interview. I'm sure the ones you've seen that he does on his channel with More Plates, More Dates, and all the other fitness guys that he's interviewed. And he thought it'd be cool if we did one together, and I was like, absolutely, that sounds awesome. So it was back and forth. He's really busy. We were going to try and find out a time, and then all of a sudden, because of course I go on Instagram, I'm a human being in 2021, and he is very, very prolific when it comes to the platform. I was like, there's not one Greg Doucette story, there's not one Greg Doucette post, and then a bunch of other people made videos about it. I'm sure Greg will do as well. He hasn't, as of me saying these words. It became very obvious that something had gone down, and yeah, he has been eradicated. So of course, that's one reason why I wanted to talk about it, because he's been very nice to me through Instagram, etc. But two, it comes down to why the hell this has happened in the first place. So I don't have any information on this. I don't have any evidence on this. I know that More Plates, More Dates did a video, and he said it could have been something to do with blood work he posted or something like that. But the true tragedy of all of this is you can essentially find soft porn on Instagram, and it's not even that hard. Like, you just have to type in a vaguely erotic title, I suppose, and it's there. This now sounds like I type in vaguely erotic titles to Instagram. I don't. You're never going to believe that now, but I don't. But sometimes this stuff is just thrown into your face. I mean, the other day, I was just going into the search thing and scrolling through, because sometimes you find good, interesting topics of fitness videos, and what I saw was offensive. To the point, if my mother knew what I had just seen through my eyes, which she essentially gave me, she probably would have disowned me because it was that disgusting. And that's where this disparity really, really gets frustrating, because Greg Doucette has built an entire, community on Instagram. I can't remember how many followers he had, but I know that it was a hell of a lot. And also, he's got a whole team dedicated to it, because he takes it super duper seriously, as you should. That's something that I'm always getting on my own case about. I need to be better about posting on there and getting into a routine, but sometimes other parts of your life get involved. Like, oh man, you're such an idiot. But to lose this audience and this structure and this foundation that you've built up based on essentially nothing doesn't really seem to make sense. Now, of course, there's a caveat. Maybe it turns out it was something specific, but I've been following him for a long ass time, and I can't believe he would put anything up there that would warrant his account being taken away. And I suppose, as we all do, I looked at this from a selfish level or an insular level. I mean, to me, this would like be me waking up and my YouTube channel just being gone. I mean, I'd probably have a heart attack, or at least I'd be terrified. Or What Culture Wrestling, the other YouTube channel I do a lot of work for, I'm sure you know that. If that was all of a sudden gone, that would scare the absolute life out of me. And there are enough stresses in life without having to worry about something when, again, you don't know what you've done. And that is the big caveat here. Like, it truly is. If you walk up to somebody and you punch them right in the face, and then you find yourself in jail, or at least in the jail process, whatever that means, you're like, well, I probably shouldn't have punched that guy in the face. But if you go and get in your car and all of a sudden you're just thrown in jail, you're like, well, what the hell did I do? I just got into my car. I didn't do anything that I, deemed could be possibly wrong. So you're going to be confused, and it's really going to give you a bunch of anxiety and who knows what else. Especially when it comes to Greg Doucette. I mean, he's got his YouTube, he's got his Instagram, he's got his TikTok, he's got his Facebook, whatever. They all look at each other and they all blend in, and that's exactly what you have to do in 2021 when you are, I know, terrible term, but it's true and it makes sense, trying to build a brand. So when all of a sudden you take a piece out, the house is going to fall down. Because that's how most houses are built. Not true. All houses are built on foundations. If you're living in a house that doesn't have a foundation, it's going to collapse on you and you're probably going to die. Please, please leave that house. So really, I wanted to make this video because hopefully I thought maybe there is something we can do about it. I mean, we've seen time and time again, more specifically with YouTube channels, where a bunch of people do get together and say, this is wrong, we need to change it. And then eventually the platform holder will go and change it and you get your account back. And then from then on, you're probably the most terrified person ever about it going away again. Now, I kind of went into the Instagram, do you want to tell us something page, whatever the hell it was. And I said, man, I think there's been an error here. So I would implore you to do the same. Now, I know a bunch of people going, I'm getting mad, he's done me. Okay, right, whatever. You don't like the man, that's fine. No one's going to make you. But hopefully, if you do like him, you will agree with this message and we can just try and get it back. Because I can totally understand how stressful that would be, especially when you don't think you've done anything wrong. That's what really annoys me. It's going on all the time. Like, I don't mean to tie it into my content again, but again, we always see these things from our own viewpoint. The gym fail videos right now have become the most terrifying part of my week, because one that I put up back in January, it happened to loads of them, but the real bad one was one I put up in January, and he got labeled as domestic abuse. And I couldn't even, usually YouTube's quite good. You can send a note or whatever saying, can you recheck this? But it said it had been done by human review. And I went through that video and I couldn't make heads or tails of it. And what I actually think has happened now, I mean, I don't know, I'm guessing because the YouTube algorithm is crazy, but ever since it got marked as that, I have really struggled on YouTube when it comes to views and engagement and all of that kind of stuff. And some people, and who knows if this ties in, have got in touch and say, Miller, your videos aren't coming up in my feed anymore. And from what I can gather, there's like a 3-month waiting period before all those telling offs go away. So now I have to get all the way to October before maybe I even get back to balance, which is causing me quite a lot of stress when it comes to advertising and money and revenue, blah, blah. You don't need to know about that. But that's just a small thing. At least I still have my platform that I can still post on. I don't know whether Greg Doucette's making any money from Instagram or not, but I bet it's still feeding into his bottom line. So to have that all of a sudden vanish when all you've done is post the same content you have been posting for the last few years, it makes me shake my head. And I'd be fine with it if it all made sense, but it never makes sense. It really, really doesn't. Like I say, you can have one person posting their bits. Let's keep this PG. Keep it PG for the kids. And you can have another person that just says, oh, look at my, my testosterone levels, my blood work, some kind of doctor thing. And some crazy AI goes, well, no, I don't agree with that. And that's where it all started. I totally understand we have to protect people on social media, and I'm all for it. In fact, we could do more. But mostly what happens is we build these all-encompassing beasts, these all-encompassing technologies that just ravage through everything. And sometimes they miss the things they're meant to be getting. And more often than not, they get things they're not meant to be getting. So we kind of end back up in this strange position. But I mean, hopefully, because I'm filming this video in the day, hopefully by the time it goes up, it's already been sorted. And this was a waste of time video, although I don't think so, because I do think it's an important issue to talk about, and we can just get back to normal. But yeah, I mean, Greg Doucette has always been good to me. He made that video about me sort of a year or so ago, which of course helped. He allowed me to be part of his Power 13 cookbook, which again, massively helped. We were going to do an interview, and all these kind of things helped. Even when he comments on one of my videos, it helps because he has a massive audience and people jump across. A lot of them call me a bored a-hole, but it's fine. I'm a bored a-hole. We have established that. So this is my teeny little way, not even of giving back. I'm not giving back anything. I just think it's a situation that absolutely sucks. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But look, you may have been in a similar situation. You don't have to have a YouTube channel of 1 million subscribers or an Instagram account with, 100,000 followers plus or whatever, not to fall into this trap. Even if you have a niche YouTube channel that's got, 150, 200 subs, and you enjoy uploading onto that, and then all of a sudden you get a copyright claim or a copyright strike, whatever the hell it would be, it really does freak you out. Of course it does. So look, please share your own stories below, and maybe there's somebody else that's out there that gets it more than you or I, and they can help us. And I implore you to do that as well. If I've said anything like, oh no, Simon, you need to do this, let me know. I try and educate myself in this stuff as much as I can, but do I know everything? Of course I don't. And as soon as you start thinking you do know everything, you're going to go on a downward spiral. So I guess, smash a comment below, do it anyway for the algorithm. Even though, in fact, I bet because I've said all that now, someone from YouTube goes, ha, and slaps me on the wrist. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Click the bell, ding, ding. You may get notified. You may not do, depending on the day. Another video on the screen. Please do give it a click. That's what YouTube loves the most. I have a Patreon, patreon.com/Simon316 if you want to support me that way. Ironically, Instagram and Twitter at Simon316. I mentioned Greg Doucette's cookbook. Get all the information and a code below to get some money off. I've got merchandise. Had to think about that one. Simon.bigcartel.com. But ultimately, thank you for clicking this video. Thank you for following me on Instagram, Twitter, whatever else you do, and for allowing me to create my own platform. Now let's hopefully try and get somebody else's platform back. I'll see you soon.